Let's imagine a scenario. It is day 2 of your cruise. You walk down to guest services, stand in line, and tell the receptionist, I want to remove the daily gratuities from my account. I prefer to tip in cash. The receptionist smiles politely, types something into the computer, and says, Certainly, sir, it has been taken care of. You walk away feeling smart. You think you just saved $500 and regained control of your money. But here is what you didn't see. 10 minutes after you left that desk, a synchronization signal was sent to the handheld tablets used by your cabin steward, your dining room headwaiter, and the bar manager. Next to your cabin number, a specific code appeared. On some lines, it is a color change. On others, it is a literal code like GRT opt-out. To the crew, you are now marked. You think you are going to reward them later with cash. They don't know that. All they know is that you have just cut their guaranteed salary. The service might not stop, but the extras, the towel animals, the extra ice bucket, the hustle to get your lobster tail, might subtly disappear. Because in 2026, removing those tips doesn't just save you money, it triggers an internal audit for the crew member assigned to you. I'm Carolyn Morgan. Today we are following the money. Every day, $20 per person disappears from your onboard account. Where does it go? Who are the ghost employees living in the bottom decks who now take a cut of your cash? And why is the cash envelope strategy actually the worst thing you can do for your steward? This is the ugly truth about cruise ship gratuities. The salary subsidy reality. To understand why this system exists, we have to talk about flags of convenience. Most cruise ships are registered in the Bahamas, Panama, or Malta. Why? To avoid U.S. labor laws and the federal minimum wage. The harsh reality of the industry is that the base pay for many service positions is shockingly low. A cabin steward or a junior waiter might have a contract that states a base salary of $50 to $100 per month. I repeat, per month, not per day. The cruise lines explicitly market these jobs to workers in developing nations with the promise of gratuities. The company is not paying their salary. You are. The daily service charge is not a bonus for a job well done. It is the crowdsourced payroll of the hotel department. So, when you see a marketing email saying gratuities included, or when you see that charge on your bill, read it as mandatory salary contribution. When you remove it, you are effectively asking that person to work for you for free. The ghost employees. The pool expansion. In the old days, let's say 2010, the math was simple. You paid tips and they were split between your room steward, your waiter, and the assistant waiter. But in 2026, the gratuity pool has expanded massively. Cruise lines realized they could lower their operational costs by adding more departments to the pool. We call these the ghost employees because you never see them, but you are paying them. Group 1, the laundry team. Deep on deck 1 or 2, in windowless rooms that reach 110 degrees Fahrenheit, are the laundry masters. They wash 50,000 pounds of linens a day. In the past, the cruise line paid them a wage. Now, they get a percentage of the pool. Do they deserve it? Absolutely. They work harder than anyone, but the controversy is that the cruise line shifted their payroll obligation onto your tip bill without telling you. Group 2, the galley stewards. These are not the chefs. These are the guys scrubbing the grease traps, washing thousands of plates per hour, and sanitizing the floors at 3 a.m. They are now paid from your gratuities. Group 3, fleet operations, the scandal. This is the part that makes insiders angry. Some major cruise conglomerates have started allocating a small percentage of the pool to training and fleet support. This means a fraction of your tip might be going to fund the corporate training programs or the salaries of supervisors who are not even purely service-based. It is a way for corporations to pad their bottom line using your generosity. The cash envelope trap and target ratings. Now, let's address the biggest viewer question. Carolyn, can I just remove the auto tips and give my steward $100 cash? He gets more money that way. Mathematically, maybe. Professionally, you might get him fired. Here is the secret metric, the participation rate. Every room steward has a section of 15 to 20 cabins. The management tracks exactly what percentage of those cabins keep their auto-gratuities on. If a steward's participation rate drops below a certain threshold, say 85%, he gets called into the supervisor's office. The assumption is not the passenger prefers cash. The assumption is you are providing bad service, and passengers are removing tips because they are unhappy. Even if you hand him that envelope and he smiles, he now has a black mark on his file. He might lose his rotation for the next contract. He might be moved to a less desirable deck. Furthermore, most contracts require crew members to turn in any cash tips received if the passenger removed the auto-gratuities. If he keeps the cash after you remove the charge, it is considered theft of company property because that money belongs to the pool. If he turns it in, it gets split 1,500 ways and he sees pennies. The cash envelope is only a gift if it is on top of the auto-gratuities. Otherwise, it is a headache in a paper wrapper. The bar bill, double dip. Let's move to the bars. This is where you are almost certainly losing money by accident. You bought the ultimate beverage package online before the cruise. When you bought it, you paid a 20% service charge up front. So if the package was $1,000, you paid $1,200. That extra $200 is the tip pool for the bar staff. You have already tipped. Now you are at the pool bar. You order a Miami Vice. The bartender hands you a receipt to sign. Why do you need to sign if it's included? It's psychology. Look at the receipt. There is a line that says, check total, 0 to 0. But right below it, there is a blank line. Additional gratuity. You are relaxing, you are happy, the sun is shining, you write 2.0 on the line. You have just tipped twice. Actually, you might have tipped 3 times because the daily $20 room charge also has a small allocation for beverage support staff on some lines. Is it wrong to tip extra? No. If the bartender did a flair show or made a custom drink, sure. But for opening a beer bottle, you prepaid for that service. Cruise lines rely on the guilt signature. They know you feel cheap leaving that line blank. Don't feel cheap. Draw a line through it, sign it, and enjoy your drink. You already paid their wage. The concierge and butler exception. There is one major exception to the pool rule. If you are sailing in the Haven, the Retreat, or any ship within a ship luxury suite concept, you likely have a butler or a concierge. These positions are often excluded from the general gratuity pool, or they receive a very small share relative to the level of personal service they provide. A butler who unpacks your suitcase, brings you espresso every morning, and escorts you to dinner is relying almost entirely on your cash envelope at the end of the week. For these specific high-touch roles, the auto-gratuity is not enough. The standard protocol for a butler is $10 to $20 per day, per guest, given in cash on the last evening. Do not assume the daily charge covers the guy who is polishing your shoes. It usually covers the guy vacuuming the hallway. The administration fee scandal. I also want to warn you about the spa and specialty dining tips. You go to the steakhouse. There is a cover charge of $50. Usually an 18% gratuity is automatically added to that $50, so you pay $59. But read the fine print on the menu. On some cruise lines, there is a clause that says an 18% service charge is added, a portion of which is retained by the cruise line for administrative costs. This is the admin fee trap. Sometimes the waiter only sees 15% and the house keeps 3% for processing. If you want to be sure your waiter gets the money, ask them directly, does the auto charge go fully to you? Often their eyes will tell you the truth even if their mouths can't. For exceptional meals, cash left on the table, not on the bill, is the only way to guarantee 100% of it stays with the staff. The Carolyn Morgan Rule. Conclusion. So, where does this leave us? The system is opaque, confusing, and arguably unfair to the workers. But as passengers, we cannot fix the labor laws of Panama. We can only ensure we don't hurt the people serving us. Here is my golden rule for tipping in 2026. 1. Leave the auto-gratuities on. Treat it as part of the ticket price. It keeps the laundry running, the dishes clean, and your steward employed. Do not be the person who triggers a red code audit on your steward. 2. Do not double tip at the bar. You prepaid the 20%. Unless the service is spectacular, draw a line through the additional tip spot. 3. Cash is for excellence, not existence. The auto tip pays for their existence, salary. Cash pays for excellence. If your steward brought you extra pillows, give him $20 cash on the last day on top of the auto charge. That is the only money he truly keeps for himself. We have talked about how the cruise lines take your money through tips, through the casino, and through the medical center. But there is one more revenue stream that is even more deceptive: shore excursions. They tell you the ship won't wait for you if you book independently. Is that true? Or is it a multi-million-dollar lie designed to make you pay triple the price for a bus tour? In my next video, I am going to expose the port mafia and the shore excursion secrets. Until then, keep your auto tips on and sail smart.